Hey, we're at the Lamontagne event, and I'm here with David Murataki, did I pronounce that right? Who's on the Nashua School Board. David, what did you think of the event?
I thought it was great. There's a lot of enthusiasm here, and most of the people I see here are solid conservatives, as well as mostly Republicans, I think.
Now, were you familiar with the candidate from his Senate run, and do you like the...
Absolutely. I felt very strongly about supporting him during his Senate run, and I'm just happy to see that he's running for governor. He's an excellent candidate all around.
Now, I'd like to twist the question a little bit. I noticed you were wearing a Ron Paul pin, and that when they were going through asking who did you support, the Ron Paul supporters were not mentioned right away, and you spoke up. How do you feel about how Representative Paul did in the primary? Second place, not a bad finish in New Hampshire.
He did a very, very strong second place. And as a matter of fact, I think a lot of the political pundits basically said that it was a bygone assumption that Romney would take New Hampshire, and he did. He did a good solid win. The real race, I think, was for second place. And the question in everyone's mind was, how would John Hunston do, since he had basically committed himself, almost totally to campaigning in New Hampshire. And also with the recent surge that Rick Santorum had seen in Iowa.
Well, I am, just full disclosure, I am a Santorum supporter.
So we were all wondering, will Santorum see the surge in New Hampshire as well? And given that John Huntsman, was campaigning strongly in New Hampshire, how would he fare? And I was happy to see that Dr. Paul did come in a solid second. Santorum and Gingrich both, didn't get into double digits.
Yeah, it was 9.4, 9.5. Now, one of the things that annoy me, and again, saying up front that I'm a Santorum supporter, I'm on Twitter a lot, and I see person after person discounting Paul's chances, but you have a third place finish in Iowa, you have a second place finish in New Hampshire, he's going to finish top 3 in South Carolina unless there's some sort of an earthquake.
Right.
How long, I mean, regardless of whether or not I agree with Dr. Paul, how must it feel to you as a Ron Paul supporter to hear people discounting him when he keeps finishing in the medal rounds? I mean, silver, bronze, I mean, when you're finishing better than other candidates, shouldn't you get more consideration from pundits and the like?
For me, I'm not terribly surprised, and here's why. I'm a former intelligence officer, so I actually have experience with how the United States mainstream media is rated in terms of both their source reliability and the plausibility of their information. So I know that in political contests like this one, that any given mainstream media, whether or not it's Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, or even well-respected newspapers like, say, the New York Times, are going to be likely to spin the news, or even, we call it blacking out the news. And Ron Paul supporters are, I think, very used to seeing significant blackout events on what their candidate.
Well, it's becoming harder and harder to ignore him and discount him. Now, do you see any, and just to close on the Ron Paul line, do you like the way he's running this campaign? Is there anything that you would like to see him do differently in terms of presentation?
Actually, I don't think so. I mean, the thing is, it looks like the Ron Paul campaign continues to rely strongly on the grassroots base that he has developed in the past years. On top of that, he's overlaid a professional, national and state-by-state level campaign group. So I think it looks like as we go into additional state contests, we're going to be seeing a much better integration, I think, as we go state by state, of the national and state level management overlaying a very, very strong grassroots base. The other thing, too, is that there's a lot of new energy coming in. I think you'll notice from most of the exit polling that Ron Paul does does very, very well amongst young voters.
He actually took more young voters, I think, by 2 to 1 over any other candidate in New Hampshire.
And independent voters also break strongly. And the thing that's kind of amusing is that if you look at the Secretary of State results for the Democratic primary, he also came in second, strictly on the basis of write-in votes, behind Barack Obama. So Ron Paul actually did better than the other non-Barack Obama Democratic candidates whose names are on the ballot.
That's rather amazing. I must confess I did not know that. Well, David Murataki, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to speaking to you again if I see you at future events.
All right, thank you.